What's up folks, my name is Felix, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to talk about Monstros universe, especially monstrosfarmz and their monstrosdegenz product, because there have been many changes which we want to cover in this video. But before we get into monstrosdegenz, their high ROI debt where you can earn high yields on a daily basis, we want to talk about the backbone of this whole project. And if you never heard about Monstros universe or monstrosfarmz, which is this backbone I already mentioned, the team behind it was building a yield farming portfolio, is still doing this over the last 5 to 6 months, which is backing all the yields they are paying out here. You can see that, for example, in all my previous videos in which I covered monstrosfarmz and what was going on in this project. And you can see this whole yield farming portfolio on Degenz. Some positions, as always, are not covered in here, but you can see the main positions, for example, in DEX Finance, where they earn yield, in the DEX vaults, or for example, they have quite a significant amount on the Blast Bridge. And if you want to dig even deeper, you can go through all the transactions which show their on-chain activity, what they are doing here with their funds, where their funds work, and how much yield they are generating. And if you're not that interested and just want to see the results on a daily basis, you jump into their Discord and see all the daily results which get posted every 24 hours in here. And as you can see, they were able throughout February to get quite huge returns on a daily basis. So almost, I would say, from 0.6 to 1% a day from their positions they are currently in. Those positions or those yields can of course fluctuate from time to time. They also had a period where they just managed to get 0.3 to 0.5% a day. In the beginning, they had days where they managed to get 2% and above. But those returns are outstanding, especially with the transparency they offer through the whole Degenz portfolio, where you can go all the positions they are currently in. And again, this is the backbone of all they are building with monstrosdegenz, which is basically their high ROI debt, which now was migrated over to phase 1.5. What you basically do here is you are depositing BNB to get a daily return to up to 3%. You can only achieve those 3% if you get certain bonuses through holding NFTs in their ecosystem, and the daily reward is not static. No, they adjust it to their current market conditions, and you will always see it down here. So for example, I now just connected my wallet and you can see the daily rate for today is at 0.4%. And this daily rate always gets adjusted to the amount they are able to bring in through the yield farming portfolio and to the overall situation in the smart contract, how many people are depositing, reinvesting, and of course claiming from the smart contract. The most significant thing you should know about the ROI debt is their so-called no-lose guarantee. And now you might want to ask, Felix, with those kind of returns, it's impossible to not lose money, especially if you are late. Well, in this kind, it's not, because they back everything with the yield farming portfolio. If the contract here in this case goes to zero because all the people that are in this higher ROI debt decide to withdraw, you will get migrated over in their yield farming program where you get airdropped an NFT. I, for example, hold several of those, and then you get a payout every Wednesday, so once a week, airdropped in USDC on the Binance Smart Chain directly to your wallet until you reach your ROI and go beyond this value. You can, for example, see all the available boosts down here. Those are all NFTs, and if you hold them on your wallet and if you deposit it with this wallet in monstrosdegenz, you will get a higher ROI than those basic 0.4% on a daily rate currently. But there are a lot more changes which they implemented from phase 1. So this overall dashboard is new. There are way more statistics now which you can check out. For example, all those global stats over here which show you the liquidity, how much BNB have been deposited, reinvested, and claimed, and of course also your state of the ROI once you deposit it into this, which you can do by using BNB, putting those BNB into the deposit field here. For example, if you deposit 1 BNB, you can just confirm this transaction and then you start accumulating daily yield, which always depends on the daily rate, of course. Just make sure you come to this ROI debt within every 30 hours, because after those 30 hours, your rewards will stop to accrue. So you have to be an active player if you jump into this high ROI debt to earn yields on a continued basis. What they, for example, also offer, if you have already been in phase 1 and don't want to participate in phase 1.5 anymore, there is a chance that you just click on this button down here where it says jump to phase 2, which basically means you get migrated over to the NFTs, which pay you out once a week, the returns I already mentioned before, and you don't have to come over to this dashboard and interact with it every 30 hours. So that's the way you can also go with it. What they also, for example, changed compared to phase 1 is how the funds are allocated. For example, deposits get 65% into the contract liquidity of the Degenz contract. 30% get allocated to their farms portfolio to generate yield, which gets then feeded back into the liquidity of the Degenz contract, and 5% are allocated for marketing. And the maximum return which you can get is now up to 5x, which was before at just 3x. And the minimum return you will get is at 1.5x. There's also a claim tax every time you withdraw your profits from the dApp, which get distributed to the Genesis NFT, to the team, to the progressive jackpot, which you can win if you deposit into the contract, and also 2.5% get distributed to the marketing allocation. To mention the jackpot in detail here also very shortly, you get a ticket for every BNB you deposit into it. So the more BNB you deposit, the higher your chance is to win this jackpot. The jackpot has been funded by the team with 10,000 US dollars. And again, 2.5% of the claim tax gets added to the jackpot amount. And you will always be able to see on the UI how many tickets you already accumulated. To round this up here, I want to show you the overall results of the yield farming portfolio, especially with the farms NFTs, because their first NFT, which is called the farmz NFT, is already in its second ROI cycle, which means everyone who bought this NFT has already gotten back his ROI and is now 17% in profits. And this is of course still ongoing. On a weekly basis, you can now get airdropped USDC straight to your wallet, which you can use for other DeFi opportunities, or for example also to try out their monstrosdegenz high ROI dApp. If you were in cycle B, which is a 80-20 cycle, we are already at 81% of your ROI. So with their current yield farming statistics, those people should also be ROI'd within the next 4 to 8 weeks. And then there are additionally also farm C and farms D cycles, which is basically just another cycle for profit sharing. So here in this case, it's 80-20, so 80% of all the profits go to the NFT holders and 20% go to the team directly. And for every 100% ROI you get back, you will be reduced to another cycle, which after that would then be 70-30. So you would get 70% of the profits and the team would get 30% of the share. And that's how they managed to build their overall portfolio, keep everything sustainable. And again, you have the option, if you don't want to participate in monstrosdegenz phase 1.5 anymore, you can just scroll down, click the button for jump to phase 2. You will get your complete ROI as well as some profits back on a weekly basis in a completely passive way. The guys behind this project, Various, Gabo, and the whole team around it are OGs in the space, very well known. Various, for example, is doxed on many YouTube channels, and they are definitely on the right side of this DeFi high ROI space. And the returns of the yield farming portfolio as well as monstrosdegenz success in phase 1 definitely speak for themselves. So this is something worth looking into, especially if you want to play around with your BNB bags. You might want to try out this product. They are very active in their Discord. So I will of course link everything below this video. What I didn't mention, for example, they completely removed their affiliate or their referral program. So there are no referrals anymore draining this contract, which I also really like to see. So check everything out by yourself, chat with those guys and get a feeling if that's something for you. If you like this overview, it would be great if you hit the like button. If you don't want to miss future videos, which I upload on a daily basis here on this channel, feel also free to hit the subscribe button. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.